Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Lauren and today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're just going to kind of have a relaxed, laid back kind of talk, I guess. I just kind of wanted to sit down and tell you guys a little bit more about me and what my background in the beauty industry is, and kind of just tell you really why I started YouTube, you know, what my goal for this channel is, what I want to do with it, and just all of that. So if you like little story time videos, then keep on watching. First of all, I obviously have always been such a little girly girl, you know, always into dresses and fixing hair. I was that little girl who was always playing a hairstylist with whomever, and so yeah. But I have also always loved YouTube. I've been watching YouTube since it first started back in 2005 and I have been obsessed ever since. Obviously, like back then, YouTube was nowhere near where it is now. It was really, all it was just like little 3-minute videos that people made in their parents' basements on their dad's camcorder. Like they had no purpose, no context, like they were just the dumbest videos, but I just thought they were so entertaining because there was nothing like this out there yet. And I think there was also like a lot of music videos and whatnot on there too. But so like I said, this was back in 2005, like when the internet was kind of first starting to bloom. And so at my house, we still only had dial-up internet. So not only did it take 500 years for a video to even upload, but I really wasn't ever allowed to get on the internet because with dial-up internet, some kids are probably like, what are you talking about? But with dial-up internet, if you were on the internet, you could not talk on the phone and people could not call you. So I really wasn't allowed to be on the internet for very long. So I loved going over to my grandparents' house because they had what was the fastest internet at the time, which was Roadrunner, and you could still talk on the phone while you're on it. So I always loved going over there because I could get on YouTube and watch these videos and not worry about what my dad said. So anyways, I was so obsessed, you know. Fast forward a year or so later, 2 years later I think, and I'm still obsessed, still watching YouTube. And this is around the kind of like shoes and Charlie the Unicorn era. So YouTube has blossomed a little bit, but it still isn't anywhere near what it is now. It's still just kind of short, silly, stupid videos. There really aren't any like tutorials out there, nothing like this, no beauty videos yet. And so, like I said, but I'm still obsessed with it. And so my friend Megan and hi Megan, actually decided that we were gonna start our own channel. And we were young and stupid, and so there was absolutely no point to this channel. It was not worth watching at all. And it was just, I think we even like pretended like we were way older than we were. And it was all around dumb. But this is also, you know, as I keep saying, back whenever the internet was first kind of blooming and blossoming, and social media really wasn't a thing yet, you know. Obviously, Facebook wasn't a thing, Instagram wasn't a thing. I think MySpace was barely a thing, and so it really wasn't as normalized and accepted as it is now. And so all you ever heard about the internet were these horror stories of creepy people, you know, getting in contact with children and bad, horrible things happen. Not to say that that doesn't still happen, but I just feel like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, so my parents found out that I had this channel, and because of the bad stigma that was around the internet and, you know, all of the safety concerns and everything, they made me delete it. So I was pretty sad, but no more YouTube. So anyways, fast forward another year and I'm still watching YouTube and still obsessed. And I was just sitting there one day and then I stumbled across this eyeball and it was like a rainbow, and I clicked on it and it was my very first makeup tutorial that I ever watched. And as I'm sure you might have guessed, because I think it was the same for a lot of people, it was X Sparkage's Rainbow Eye tutorial. And I just remember watching that and it just was, I mean, it's weird to say it, but it was seriously life-changing for me. And I just, it just opened up a door, you know, an obsession and a dream, and just so many things for me, because I was just so amazed by it. I'd never seen makeup be worn in this way, because I was just so used to, like, you know, all the people in my life who wore makeup just kind of wore it as, you know, something to enhance their features or hide things that they didn't want people to see. And so I never really had seen makeup shown as an art. I'd never seen bright colors. All I'd ever knew about really was drugstore makeup. And like I said, it was just something that you did in the morning that you had to do. It was just something that you had to get done. It was a hassle, you know, not an enjoyable process. And so seeing, like I said, seeing makeup in this way was just so mind-blowing to me, you know, seeing these colors, because all I knew of was drugstore makeup, and back then, you know, you would never find anything that bright and colorful in the drugstore. And so I was just like, it was just the turning point for me, and I was obsessed with makeup ever since then. I was bound and determined to get my hands on some colorful eyeshadow, but like I said, you couldn't really find anything at the drugstore, and really all that was like around or known back then was MAC, and I was very young, didn't have a job yet, you know, I was still in school and everything, and my parents weren't gonna buy me, you know, high-end designer makeup, so little Lauren just had to kind of suffer and not have her makeup. But anyways, you know, we didn't have an Ulta or a Sephora or anything then, and so yeah. But then one day I went into Claire's and they had this bright rainbow palette, and I was so excited, and I bought it, and like my life was changed ever since then. I went home, I created my very first rainbow eye. It was probably awful, I don't have a picture of it, but you know, I was just so excited. I had never been so excited in my life to play with color, and I was just hooked. You know, I was that girl. I would go to school with the crazy rainbow eye, and even after that, I was doing all these other looks. You know, I would always match, wearing bright blue and everything, and people probably thought I was ridiculous, but I mean, not really. People were always complimenting them, and looking back now, I'm like, what were you thinking? But anyways, you know, obviously I wasn't the best, but it was a starting point. And honestly, even YouTubers back then, like compared to how they are now, like obviously like trends and things have changed too, but makeup has come a long way. But anyways, so I got my little rainbow tutorial, my little rainbow palette, and I'm making these crazy looks, so obsessed, you know, wearing crazy makeup to school all the time. And then this is also when I discovered like Candy Johnson and all these other YouTubers who really aren't around anymore, but Candy, I have been an OG Candy fan since day one. I've been watching Candy since she had that horrible little camera that like made a weird noise in the back and she couldn't make videos past 10 minutes. So then fast forward a little bit and to Christmas, and I got my first kind of what I consider to be real makeup palette from Coastal Scents, which was the 88 shadow palette, and you know, it had all those different colors, and that was just like, you know, it's what X Sparkles juice, and I just felt so fancy and so cool with my palette, and I just felt like I was a legit makeup artist. So obviously, with my love and everything for makeup, I also was really obsessed with hair. I didn't really touch on that yet. I was really obsessed with hair. I was always doing my hair. I would not go out if my hair was not fixed. I had to have some sort of curl, tease, something had to be done with my hair. I was always testing boundaries. You know, I was always trying to do different updos and stuff and crazy things that no one else was doing. Because when I was in school, it was just like everyone just flat ironed their hair. Everyone had straight hair. And so I wanted to be different and, you know, do crazy things with it. So obviously that sparked an interest in me to want to pursue a career within the beauty industry. I did not see myself sitting at a desk or in like the medical field or anything. I wanted to do something with cosmetology. So my senior year, I decided to apply to cosmetology school. I applied to what was known as the best school in my area, and it really is an amazing school. And so I applied, I got in, and I was accepted. So I graduated high school, and then that summer I actually started another YouTube channel. And I was, you know, YouTube still obviously wasn't where it is now, so it was nothing really special, but I was also just so, I mean, I'm still kind of a little introverted, but I was very extremely shy and just very embarrassed, and I didn't want to tell anybody that I had this channel because YouTube really still wasn't as accepted as it is now. It wasn't as normalized as it is now, and so I was just too embarrassed to tell anybody that I had this. So obviously I didn't get any views or didn't get anywhere with it because no one knew that this channel existed. And I obviously didn't also have the equipment and everything that I needed. I couldn't film makeup tutorials because all I had was my little like original iPhone, and so I just really couldn't do what I wanted to do with it. And yeah, so anyways, summer ends and I start cosmetology school, and that is when I made the decision to end my YouTube channel because I didn't want anybody to find out about it because I was just so embarrassed, and I would have been mortified if anyone knew that I had this channel. So I decided to stop and end my channel yet again. So I went to school, and through cosmetology school I kind of fell in love a little bit more with the hair side because we learned about makeup too, but we kind of focused more on the hair side of things. And the way our school was set up, you either went to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or you went to school Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And the Thursday, Friday, Saturday girls, I think, and boys, there were boys too, they got to play with makeup a little more because they had like the Saturday people going to dances and all that, whereas Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday people, we kind of just got, you know, your everyday people just wanting a haircut, you know, they're just regular maintenance, you know, hair appointments. And so we never really got to play with makeup as much as I had hoped. So because of that, I fell in love a lot more with hair. And so you know, requirements and everything vary from state to state, and in my state you needed 1,800 hours, I think it was 1,500 hours, I don't know, you needed a certain amount of hours, and how long it takes you to complete school really just depends on you. If you bust your butt and you go to school every day and get your hours done, then you'll be done. If you decide to take a bunch of vacations, call out sick all the time, then it's going to take you longer. So I was like, I'm not going to stay in here any longer than I have to. I want to get out there and get into the salon and start my career. So I busted my little butt, and I had perfect attendance. I did not miss a single day, and I even actually made up bonus hours, and I got to do some really cool things, you know, working on fashion shows and everything, and I just really loved it, you know, got to do all the hands-on stuff, learn about color, all that good stuff. And so I busted my little butt, and I was the first to graduate from my class. And so here's my little diploma thing that says that I completed the cosmetology course. And there it is. It says Boone because that is my maiden name. But here is your proof that I went to cosmetology school and I finished. You know, school isn't all it is. Even if you graduate from school, you still have to go and take a state board test. And that was the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my entire life. But I did it. I succeeded, passed on the first try, and I became a licensed cosmetologist. So here's my little license. It says I'm licensed in the state of Ohio, and it has all my little stuff on it. And yeah, so after I got my license, I then went out and I found a job at an amazing little salon that I absolutely adored. You know, I wanted something cute and quaint. Like, I wanted a little old house, and that is exactly what I got. I got a little house, and it was just an amazing little small business, and I loved all the girls there, and I was just so excited. Like, this is where I'm meant to be. This is where I'm starting my career. You know, this is what I want to do. I was so determined and just so excited. A lot of times whenever you're first starting out, you have to like assist or shadow or, you know, be an apprentice of some type. So that's what I did. You know, they don't just like throw you out there to start off. You have to like start at the bottom and work your way up. And so that's what I did for about a year. Well, I barked at the desk first, and then I assisted for a little while, and then I was almost to the point where I was going to go out on my own and do my own hair and, you know, be on the floor. And I was just so excited. You know, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted to do with my life. This is my one and only dream. You know, this is what I worked so hard to achieve. So excited, couldn't picture my life any other way. But then, you know, even though this was my one true dream, I feel like everybody has two dreams in their life. They have their realistic, you know, career dream, and then they have their crazy out there, probably never actually going to achieve this dream, but it would be really, really cool if I did dream. Like being an actress or a pop singer, you know, something crazy like that. So I had my realistic dream, which is cosmetology, and then I had my crazy out there dream that I never, ever, 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 ever thought would happen. And honestly, I didn't even realize it was a dream of mine, but I was. And so one day I was just like sitting around, you know, doing stupid things, and I'm just researching and like found out what you had to do in order to achieve this unrealistic dream. And then the opportunity kind of presented itself in my life out of nowhere for me to go and possibly pursue it. And so, not expecting anything to actually become of it, I decided to do that, and I got it. And so I then made the decision to put my salon career on hold. I didn't know if it was going to be temporary or permanent, but I made the decision to leave the salon and move 1,000 miles away from home to pursue this unrealistic career, well, dream that I never, ever, ever, ever thought was actually achievable. And I'm just so blessed and honored to be able to say that I did it. And so what was it? And this is where people are probably gonna hate me, but, and I hate that even I'm telling you anything about it, but I feel like in order to really tell my story, I need to tell you about this. But I'm not going to really explain to you guys what that dream was or what that opportunity was, because it was just a very special, pure time in my life. And I want this channel to be strictly about beauty and makeup and all that. And I know that if I were to, you know, disclose this information, that my channel would kind of take a different direction, and I don't want that to happen. You know, I promise that it was nothing that I'm ashamed to tell you about or embarrassed, or like it was nothing inappropriate. You know, I wasn't a stripper or anything. It's just simply a very special time of my life that at this point I want to keep private and separate. It's not to say that I'll never tell you about it, but just right now I would really appreciate it if you would respect that. And yeah, so anyways, I did that for almost 3 years. It was amazing. I loved it. It's so surreal to me. I still have to pinch myself sometimes. I forget that I actually did that. And but I knew going into this that it was not a you know, guaranteed career. At some point it had to end, whether it was my choice or, you know, so unless you decided to take other paths within it. And so my husband, I guess you would say, is like the main breadwinner of our little family, and so his career takes priority, and he did get an opportunity back home where we're from, and so we made the decision to move back home for him to take that job. So I had to leave, you know, the little dream, and come back home, which was, you know, not the most ideal situation. I obviously was not ready to leave that yet. and come back home. You know, everyone dreams of like moving away and pursuing their dreams, but no one really dreams about ever coming back home. So I mean, that was a little hard, but I mean, it's so nice to be back with family and everything. I'm very grateful for that, but I just do miss our life there sometimes. But anyways, so we come back and I made the decision not to go back into the salon for a few different reasons. But the main one being that I was at a different point in my life now. You know, I was married, living on our own, and within the salon, you have to start at the bottom and work your way up. Meaning that you have to build up your clientele, and so there could be days where you are physically at work, but if you don't have any clients, then you're not making any money. So in order to get those clients, you either have to rely on word of mouth, friends, or walk-ins. And so you could have the potential to make a lot of money within a week, but you could also not make any money in a week. And so not having that guaranteed income was just not really an option for us at the time, or at this time. Like, it would be different if I was still, you know, 18 like I was when I started, you know, living at home with my parents and starting then and like living under their roof. That's different. But going back into it whenever you're a little older, you know, trying to get yourself established and living on your own and being married, it's very hard to go back and start at the bottom. And so that's one of the things. And then also, you know, I loved the salon that I worked at itself. I loved all the people, everything, but I realized that what I love about cosmetology is, you know, the glam side, like makeup and formal updos and fixing hair and all that, as opposed to the technical or chemical side and hair cutting, which is where I'm from. That's all you get in the salon. It's just, you know, your everyday haircuts, you know, every month see the same person, get their roots touched up, and then they're gone. So I like the more creative side of the industry, and so that's the other reason why I decided to, you know, forego the salon. And it's just a very saturated business right now, especially where I'm from. There's a lot of people doing hair, and so it would just be very hard. Like I said, you know, obviously I would find a way to, you know, get my name out there, but I made the decision because I felt that it was the best decision for us to not go back into the salon. So anyways, while we were gone, you know, living our other life, I fell in love with kids. And I've always loved kids. I love babies. You know, people are always like, you have baby fever. And I'm like, I've always had baby fever. I've always been obsessed with babies, even when I myself was a baby. And so I decided, well, maybe I could do something within the childcare business. And so I just decided, why not become a nanny? So that's what I did. You know, I found a little family and I have a little baby that I nanny, and I love it, you know. I'm very happy. I love it. I get to spend all day hanging out with a baby. It's perfect. It's the most ideal situation for me right now, and I love it. But there still was like a little part in me that was like longing to do something in the beauty industry. And I'm like, I don't know. So I was like, I considered, you know, doing freelance makeup and hair for weddings and whatnot, but I didn't really know how to get my foot in the door, how to get started with that. But I just knew that I wanted to work for myself, whatever I did. And so I just kind of sat down and thought and tried to figure it out. And then I was like, why not start YouTube again? You know, it has grown tremendously since I tried it before. It is just so well known now. Everybody is watching YouTube. There are more people watching YouTube than there are watching TV. Everybody knows who all these beauty gurus are. Like, everybody knows that. Everybody watches YouTube. If you want to know anything about a product, how to do something, you go to YouTube. And so I was like, well, maybe this is my calling. Maybe now is my chance, you know? Maybe this is what I was meant to do. No hate to anybody else, but, you know, anybody can start YouTube. You know, whoever, if you like makeup, you can start a YouTube channel. But not everybody has a cosmetology license. Not everybody went to school for it. And so I was like, well, maybe I have something different, you know? I have something different to bring to the platform and people might like it. So, you know, I've grown up a little, I've matured a lot. I am still a little shy, but a lot less shy than I was. And so I decided to take the plunge. You know, it took a while because I didn't have the equipment and all that nonsense again, and I didn't have lighting or a camera, but my husband got me a camera, and then I finally just sat down and I tried to film, and then just got frustrated with myself, but eventually I did get something filmed, and I just, you know, took that leap, got over the hill, and just took that leap of faith, like I said, and posted it, and I told people about it. And I was a little worried what people might think, you know. I didn't know if people would be like, this is weird, like make fun of me, you know, make fun of how I sound, make fun of my work, you know, all that. But people liked it, and like even people who I like went to school with, like, but didn't even really talk to, were like, this is amazing, like you're like, wow, so proud of you for doing this. And it's just like, I was just like, I did it, you know, I've done it. Like, I've taken that first step. And so, yeah, here we are. It's about 3 months later. We're growing. I have over 350 subscribers. And I just, you know, I have a vision. I've seen what this platform can do. I mean, you know, like, this too, like, where you can get. And I have a dream, I have a vision, and I'm just so excited that I finally took that jump and that I didn't let fear control me, like, you know, fear of what people would think, and just was willing to make a fool of myself in order to potentially become successful by doing something that I love and helping others with what I love. And, you know, I'm very excited. I'm very honored to be here sitting in front of you, and I just appreciate you all. I love you, and I thank you all so much for all of your encouragement and your kind comments, and just that you are why I'm still doing this, you know? And so, yeah, I don't know what else to say. This is me, this is my story, this is why I'm here. I have big plans, big dreams, and I cannot wait to take you all with me. I just really want to, like I said, educate you guys, you know, teach what I have to teach and relay information to you and really help you to feel your most beautiful, because that is why one of the reasons why I wanted to work in a salon, you know, why I wanted to do hair. I wanted to help people feel beautiful, and so that is what I want to do for you on this platform. So the other question is, like, what am I? I don't really refer to myself as a beauty guru. I don't feel like that is my title. I also don't really consider myself to be a makeup artist. You know, I'm a cosmetologist. That is my title. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. That's what I went to school for. So it's like virtual cosmetologist. I don't know, like online hairdresser, online cosmetologist. Like, I don't know. Virtual cosmetologist. I like it. I think we should go with it. Maybe we'll start a new trend. Virtual cosmetologist. With that being said, I think that about wraps up for this video. Thank you guys so much for just sitting down and listening to me talk. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that I finally got to get this out there and kind of let you guys know what I'm about, where I came from, and yeah, so that's about it. Thank you guys so much. I love you all so much. You have no idea, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.